Welcome to this week's episode of Riff Table Arcade. Episode 28, this is going to be our introduction to E3 2015 and the road to the big event. This episode will be talking about our predictions of Microsoft. Nintendo's later, but for today, it's going to be nothing but Microsoft. For this week, I'm your host, 16-Bit Jeff. Along with me are...
Double RPG.
And I'm FighterXaos.
Yep. Before we get into this week's episode, how have you guys been?
Oh, I've been doing good. Been busy. Still. Been playing some more Dragon Ball Xenoverse while I've been having off time at work. You know, just try to get back into that and to complete the main story mode. Finally did.
Well...
Now I'm just trying to get all the time crystal shards so I can unlock the bonus one where I can go off against Broly.
And Bardock. Well, you don't fight Bardock.
No.
But you have to help him, and it's the most annoying mission in the entire game.
Oh, I bet. Considering how cheap
he
Broly
dies
is.
so easy. He dies so quick. And
Yeah.
go ahead. Anything else you got?
No. I mean, that's all I've been doing. Just been doing what I like to do best, and keep seeing, really great news stories, really bad ones too, and like a bunch of them that can't even shut up about particular things that I don't even want to talk about. Well, no, I mean, it's not video games, but you know what I mean. Or
No,
not
I
just
get what
video
you're saying.
games.
No, I get what you're
Like-
saying, man.
Yeah, like all those Doomas who are talking about World War III is coming soon. Yeah, I'll see it when I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll believe it when I see it. Rather.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is it my turn or what? Or Jeff?
Yeah. Yes.
But anyway, please continue. Didn't mean to turn it into political talk.
It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, go ahead, Jerry.
Alright. I have been working really hard on webcomics. I've also been playing Akiba Strip because it's one of those games that just like, when I have time to wind down, this is a game I play because I don't have to think hard about it. And so far as lately it's been Akiba Strip. And I just got, get this, I'm not going to say how or why or what. Don't worry, dude. Don't worry, people. But I got Dragon Age and the DLC. The free one that came out. And I also...
Dragon Age Inquisition?
Yeah. The Dragon Slayer DLC, which I just found out was multiplayer only, and I'm like, I'm not playing the multiplayer. Why did I download this crap? And then the other one was, yeah, it's true. And the other one was Black Emporium. And I also, got me some of that sweet upgrade. You know, from the standard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you had a chance to play Dragon Age?
Nope,
3?
just enough to pop it in and update it.
Oh, okay.
See, all this webcomic stuff, that's my next game on my list, finally. I bought it near when it came out, and I still haven't even beaten it.
Oh,
Because
jeez.
it's just like, what are you doing? Webcomics? Why? Because there's a little place I'm on called Tapastic, and if you don't know, that place actually pays you for your webcomic with ad revenue, so I'm trying to do it enough to get enough money. And then you can also open up what they call the support system, which basically lets people donate money to you, like Patreon, if they so choose. And I'm trying to get well known enough to even start that. So I've just been hard at work, doing 2 webcomics at a time, and then writing scripts for comics. Sometimes I wonder if I've bitten off more than I can chew, but you know.
Yeah.
It's how I do things.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about you, Jeff?
Well, on my end,
definitely. How about you?
Yeah, on my end, I've been alright. Like, it's been 50-50 in regards to myself being busy in general. The first half being part of some personal issues. The other has been, just like with Jerry, getting back to starting playing games again, and the recent games I got for both my Xbox One was, yes, I triple dipped on Shovel Knight.
Man.
And as of last night, I got...
They love you, then.
The Old Blood.
Developers love you.
Yeah, Yacht Club Games loves you, buddy.
And like I said, last night I just picked up Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, the new standalone for
the New Order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you try it out?
A little bit, but from what I've been playing so far, I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, nice.
I mean, if you love the New Order, you'll definitely love The Old Blood.
Hmm.
And also, since I had $5 laying around too, I also got the first episode of Life is Strange, the new IP from Electronic Entertainment, the guys who made Remember Me, the highly underrated 2013 third-person brawler.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is a very good game, and I cannot wait until the whole game is finally out later in the year.
Isn't Square Enix publishing it?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so.
And there's one game I would recommend, and this is shocking enough, but I actually got a chance to play Assassin's Creed Chronicles China.
Uh-huh.
It's basically a 2D stealth game. Like, think of it in the vein of a mixture of Prince of Persia meets... what was the 2D side-scroller stealth game by the guys who did Shank?
Oh, Mark of the Ninja?
Yeah. It's like, it feels like it's a hybrid between both Prince of Persia and Mark of the Ninja, and it's surprisingly very good.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Well, that's good, because I've heard that reviews weren't that great for it.
Yeah, well, it is a downloadable title, and it's a very short game for the price it's asking. I think that's the main reason why, but that's the only negative I could say. Even at that price range, it's too rich for someone's blood, to be honest.
I zoned out. Which game are you talking about?
Assassin's Creed Chronicles China.
Oh, my dad loves it. It's not mind blowing or anything. It's
right.
$10, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
My dad was like $10. We both agreed it should have been for handhelds, though.
Yep.
It totally
should
have been for handhelds, not for console.
The only disappointing thing. Oh.
It didn't contain any nightmare fuel, did it?
No. No, it did not.
We still got to make fun of Assassin's Creed Unity with the nightmare fuel.
I know.
With
I was going to bring that up. I was going to bring that up because if there's one thing I'm really disappointed in regards to Chronicles China, I wish this game was the next full standalone title that we were going to get from Ubisoft, rather than what we're getting with Assassin's Creed Victory, which is set in London.
Huh.
I just feel London, like we just went with Paris. It's one of the, during the biggest times of, human history that people wanted to see, and now we're going to London. You can see why thinking like most people would, as really an anticlimactic choice, a really generic one. Whereas China, that would be really interesting, especially the time period that Chronicles China took place in. That's a great, rich game to be set in that era.
More unique.
But they used it for a freaking 2D side scroller. That's the thing that really ticked me off on Ubisoft. That should have been a full-fledged, successor that we got this year.
Because I liked it, but it's totally, should have been. I mean, it should have been. It should have been that storyline should have been a full-fledged game. And if they were gonna make a game like that, A, it should have been London in that style, and B, on the handheld. I don't get why it wasn't on 3DS and Vita.
And see, that's the thing that ticks me off too, because this is the first of a trilogy, and I know
there's what, Russia and another one next.
And it's just like, why are you using those, locations for the games that should have been on handhelds rather than the main entries? Like, I'm sorry, am I the only person that feels like that the main entries locations have been really generic?
Yeah.
Yep. Uh-huh.
But that's a topic for another day. But yeah, I've been besides that little inkling of disappointment from China, Chronicles China. This is a game that I feel like it may be too much now for its price. But I would definitely say if it goes down like for sale from Xbox Live or PlayStation Network or even other platforms, I would say definitely pick it up.
Okay.
But like I said earlier, this week's episode is the start of our Road to E3 series. Since E3 2015.
Yeah.
Yep. Since E3 2015 is coming up soon. In fact, it's going to be here in the next couple of weeks, if I'm correct, right?
Next month.
Yep. Like Jerry said, we do this as an annual thing. We've been doing this as an annual thing since 2008, if I recall correctly, right?
Well, 2010, with the streams and all that.
Oh, officially, yes, but I'm saying you and I, as like friends, we've been starting.
Yeah, since 08 at least, yeah.
Yeah, we unofficially started this in 08, but it was officially a thing in 2010. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do this every year, and like I was said earlier, this week is going to be nothing but Microsoft, and next week is going to be Jerry's gig with what Sony has to offer at this year's E3 from what we know. And to finish off the big three, the following week will be on Nintendo, and then the week after that will be the remainder, the third parties. So this week we're going to be talking about Microsoft. This episode is nothing but Microsoft.
Good old Microsoft.
Yep. And
now let's clarify one thing first.
Yes.
I think Phil Spencer said in an interview not too long ago that Microsoft's key focus during their E3 presentation is going to be on first-party software.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if that includes collaborations with third parties being exclusive to their platform or not, but just that we just wanted to give you guys a heads up of what Microsoft's E3 keynote presentation was going to be about, or E3 media briefing is going to be about, is mostly on their first party material.
I'm glad you brought it up because he did clarify after that interview that there is going to be third party exclusives, but there's going to be more first party exclusives from them being announced, unlike the previous E3 announcements they've done in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there obviously are going to be third parties, but it's going to be more of a bigger showing of first-party titles from Microsoft directly, unlike the last couple E3s.
Yeah. Excuse me. Just, it's been a long day, dude.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so first off, what do we know? We should be talking about what do we know that's going to be announced or teased from Microsoft this year.
I think, I think we should go ahead and get out of the way what's actually going to appear during the press event, the games that we know that are still in development that are going to be making it. And before we talk about what's new or teased or give off our predictions or whatever. So why don't we just start off with what we know first, what's going to be there before we start off, or before we talk about what we think is going to be teased or what's going to be news going to be presented or whatnot.
Or as I call it, just the facts, Jack.
Yep.
Yeah, just the facts. And I think from what we do know, Quantum Break was originally supposed to come out this year, but it got pushed back to 2016. So it looks like Halo Guardians is going to be Microsoft's biggest focus for this year when it comes to their holiday releases.
Yep.
So, but that doesn't mean that Quantum Break's going to make it at E3. It seems like it's going. It seems like it's going to be the case. But when it comes to like the two biggest things, it's definitely going to be those two.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll probably get the first glimpse of gameplay for Halo Guardians, if I'm not mistaken. In terms of the campaign, that is.
No, it is because they usually save the annual Halo games as the big showing for their E3, press conferences. So yeah, that is going to be the first time, and it's going to be interesting too, since Frank O'Connell, one of the big heads over at 343 Industry, recently said that they did learn a lot from the recent release Master Chief Collection and its atrocious multiplayer, and they said they are not going to do that again with Halo 5.
Well, that's good to hear.
Basically, what he said word from word is that, the internet issues and multiplayer issues with Master Chief Collection really gave not only the game itself, but more importantly, the developer a really big black eye that, they don't want to do something like that once more, especially with a big title such as Halo 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely we're going... I definitely believe that we're going to see that, but I don't know. Do you guys believe that the game Halo Guardians is actually going to be the last game that stars Master Chief or not? Because, just looking from the more recent, trailers or whatever, with that one guy that looking down at Master Chief who's been crumpled down on the ground or whatever, or shot down.
I wouldn't mind, and this has come from someone who's been a fan of the franchise since day one.
Uh-huh.
I don't hate the character of Master Chief, but I feel like that I think this is a point, especially where they're going with the story and what we know so far, that it's possible they are probably slowly turning Chief into a villain, and probably the new Spartan Locke, the new hero of this series, you know what I mean? Uh-huh. Which, don't get me wrong, I do like the character of Master Chief, but I always felt that he was he really had no personality to him as a character.
Uh-huh.
And it made sense, too, because of what his background and upbringing was as a Spartan soldier. It makes sense, both vocally and how he interacts with people. But at the same time, you want a character that actually has a personality. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, too, since Cortana is now officially dead, it's what does he have left to live off of?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, so that right there, hopefully we'll get some more answers from Microsoft during their the next showing of Halo Guardians from there. And for Quantum Break, what would you like to see, Jeff?
A little bit more of the actual story, what is making exactly this, component of time. What is exactly making time stop? What is exactly going on with the story? Who's the main villain? That type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Just a generic story points of what we can gather for what's going on that we really don't know still.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Jerry?
For Quantum Break?
For Quantum Break or Halo Guardians or whatever?
I want to switch with Halo Guardians. I want to see more of the story. Mm-hmm. 'Cause I'm curious. You mentioned it. What if this is Master Chief's last game? I want to see who is a potential new hero. Mm-hmm. And for Quantum Break, I just want to see gameplay. Mm-hmm. I want to see what it's like when you actually hold a controller and play. Because we've seen story parts. Vague story parts. Like Jeff said, we haven't really seen what really is the story. Just really vague stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I want to at least see how it's going to play,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really do hope that Remedy actually does a really good job with Quantum Break, because it seemed like the response from Alan Wake, even though it was positive, it seemed like it came off at a very underwhelming response at its launch.
Hmm. Well, I also
hopefully
think...
Well, I know they take a lot of time to make sure that their games are full of polish, which I applaud them for. But, I just hope that they actually get a better reception when it comes to Quantum Break. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, but I was going to bring it up. I also think it's the fact that, at that time, Microsoft shot themselves in the foot, because this was around the time, a couple weeks prior to its initial launch, that they announced that they canceled the PC version at that time, and it was only going to be an Xbox 360 exclusive.
Mm-hmm. But now it's going to be Xbox One exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's what I think. I think that's, in terms of first parties, I believe that's all I know. Unless, Jeff, if you want to bring in something else, or
actually, that's the only thing I know in regards to first party too. Yeah.
Yeah, since since this is your hosting gig.
Oh, true, but it's just
and I think I accidentally hijacked you there.
No,
for
you did not. No, you did not. Trust me, you did not. But I was going to bring up, I feel like this is the first time that Microsoft is actually holding their cards close to their chest in regards to this E3 compared to others. Because we really don't know.
Yeah, I think they really want to give us the element of surprise this year. Kind of like what
I'm all for.
Like what Nintendo did last year.
Yeah, which I'm all for. And here's the thing. When I find a rumor or a leak pop up, it's like, okay, that's cool, but I wish I knew at E3 or insert, big presser like Gamescom here. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather find out from them rather than find out some leaker saying, oh, guys, this game's coming out. That's just, it ruins the element of surprise. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like,
oh, and by the way, listeners, we're not going by any rumors that we've, that's online or anything, which there isn't, by the way. We're just going off by what we feel.
Exactly.
This is completely impromptu, because last year I think we did have some, for at least a few of them, we actually did have leaks on hand where we actually gave off our speculation. So this one is completely just out of the blue.
Yep.
So, it's like, don't expect, don't possibly expect us to go too in depth with this unless we have a lot to talk about, but you never know.
There's one thing I wanted to bring up about Microsoft. Do they have this still? Is it still in development or what? Phantom Dust.
Yes. What happened was, for the listeners who don't know, the original developer went under because I think it came to an amicable parting of ways from both the original developer and Microsoft that they both didn't like the version that was going towards. So instead of giving it to a third party, this time around the title is actually being made from an in-house developer inside of Microsoft Studios. So hopefully we get to see more about that at this year's E3.
Okay. That seems fair enough. I think the next iteration of Forza Horizon is also going to be a possibility.
Yes, they did confirm that is coming out this fall, and it is going to be shown more at E3 this year.
Is it Forza Horizon 2 or Forza Horizon 3?
No, it's Forza 6.
Oh, Forza 6, okay. Well, where did I think of Horizon 2 or Horizon 3 at?
Well, because I thought that's
what
came out last year, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I thought, the next Forza game was going to be called Horizon 3, or if they were just going to stick with Forza 6.
Right.
But we also know that Rare is also going to be showing off a new game that they have in development too.
Not only that, but this year is a very big year for the developer, because while people may be still disdained about a certain purchase from this company that's 13 years old and going strong for some stupid reason, this company is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, so it's going to be really interesting to see what else we're going to be seeing from the company besides their new project they're making exclusively for Xbox One. And to bring that up too, it has been confirmed that, there is going to be a Battletoads game from a third-party developer. We just don't know whom yet, but there is going to be a new Battletoads game for the Xbox One that hopefully we'll get to hear more of either at E3 or more likely at a Gamescom. Who knows? But if anything, since it's their 30th anniversary this year, I would really like to see them give a modern take on their Saberwolf series. Or Saberman. Or
whatever his name is.
Or hell, like any of or an older IP like Jetpack. Or even one of the long dormanted IPs from the N64 era, like I would like to see either a new Perfect Dark, even from a third party, in-house developer from Microsoft, or even one I would like to see. It would make sense too with Microsoft, especially when they were going with this whole Dubro shtick in 2009 when Don Matrick was running the show, and that was Jet Force Gemini.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we're talking about Rare now?
Yeah.
But from what we know, what's going to be on the show floor.
How about you, Jerry?
About Rare or
Yeah.
Yeah, about Rare.
I definitely... We talked about Battletoads?
Yes.
That's totally a thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Conquer, so...
Which is the gameplay you're seeing on screen, folks, just so you know, as a heads up.
Oh, yep. In case you didn't know.
And that's the funny thing you brought up too, Jerry, because that was one surprise we did not know about in regards to the Conquer IP being shown at E3 last year, and people making a big hissy fit out of it because it's not a full-fledged game. The way I see it is that, does it suck it's not a full-fledged game and it's being used as DLC for Project Spark? Yes, but here's the important thing. This is reviving the IP. It's getting the IP's knowledge out there, because people tend to forget. The original N64 game, and this was all intentionally on Nintendo, they did no advertisement for the game.
No.
The only time they did was for late nights, like I'm talking about like midnight, like for TV ads.
Yeah, that one lady who was that one commercial that had the lady scratching the squirrel or whatever. Yep. I remember that.
Yep.
That was like the only advertisement they did for it.
Mm-hmm. So I understand why people are pissed, but at the same time you need to realize that, this game was never... It's a great game, but it didn't have that big outing like most Rare games back in the day did, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't have the big outing like Banjo-Kazooie.
Mm-hmm. Also, I totally expect, even though it's not Rare developed, it is a Rare IP KI.
Oh, Season 3, yeah.
Season 3, yeah.
Getting info on that, yep.
Especially with the news we just found out about them doing that $100,000 fund, right?
That much?
I think it's that much, but they're doing a
tournament?
They're doing like a tourney thing that you can win money.
Now see that? Wow, and it's way more than Evo gives.
Yeah, and this has been officially sponsored by Microsoft, so of course
it's their own version of Capcom Cup.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Which is nice, That's cool.
Yeah,
that they're being sponsored by their own companies and giving that much. Because
I really hope
Evo is like, oh, we're gonna give you $20,000.
I would really like to see the new KI game get a PC release.
I think they will.
I'm surprised it hasn't. Maybe that'll be an announcement.
I think they will. I've heard
Microsoft is like, we do also have PCs.
No, that, but we haven't seen not only last year but this year so far that they've been teasing more of a organic gameplay between PC and Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks to Windows 10. Who knows? Maybe we will hear an announcement finally of
cross-platform. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and I already own the game since I got when I originally got my unit last year. That's the first game I bought, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to bring up something too that really pisses me off about Rare, is that and still goes on too. It's just like, oh, it's not the old team. It's automatically gonna suck. Yeah, you can say that about every other team under the sun, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
You can say that about Rockstar. You can say that about Nintendo, Sony, even Microsoft's in-house developers.
And some people are also going to say, well, it's never going to be the same again. Well, yeah, that's true, but there could be potentially ones that are actually better in this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that magic from what made Rare so great back then, it may not actually be lost fully.
Yeah, I mean, there's still the iconic developers that have been with Rare since the N64 dates that still work at Rare today.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming... And yes, even though the new head says he wants to make new experiences, which I'm completely fine with, it's funny that they also forgot to mention that he also said, too, that same time, that they do want to bring back their legacy IPs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the thing that really annoys me. And to the listeners, I'm not bashing about you guys. I'm just saying about these people who still have their ego 13 years strong because of one company purchasing a beloved developer like Rare.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like it gets to the point that's just like, can you just shut up?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, what are your stakes on that, Jerry?
They need to shut up.
Because like I said, it's ridiculous that this has been going on for 13 years.
13 years, that's too long for anything.
It is, because they purchased Rare, in 2002, they're like, I think it was 2 or 3 billion?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like,
there.
where that money came from. It's just like, people tend to realize that they don't realize that even back in the N64 games, the games from the N64 era, they didn't make that much money either in regards to sales.
Also, you mentioned these guys talking about, it's the old team or the new team, something like that. It's just like, and like you mentioned, all these other guys also have none, like Konami, none of the original people are there.
I know.
Capcom. Capcom.
Yeah.
Sega?
Yeah.
I mean, yeesh.
I know.
Plus also the thing, it's all Microsoft's fault. And I'm like, Jeff, how much of this stuff was actually Rare's ideas?
Themselves. Here's the thing where I will agree where the proverbial crap hit the fan for the company. It was in 2007. I should say, started in 2007, because people tend to forget that's the year when the Stamper Brothers, the founders of the company, left.
Was that the same year the Conquer original Xbox game came out?
No, that was 2004, right?
Or no, yeah, Live and Reloaded came out in 2004.
Yeah, that was 04. But yeah, people tend to forget that, or they do, but they like to bring this whole crap because they have this, bias for them for no reason. That, this started with the Stampers leaving, and it got worse in 08 because who became the head of the Xbox? Well, Don Matrick.
Don Matrick.
Yes.
A person who Chris Sever, the creator of Conquer, hates with the passion of 1,000 suns.
And even the recent tweet from Grant Kirkhope when he said, to all the people who said that didn't want this game, F you, I think he was talking more about the people like Don Matrick, unlike Phil Spencer, because I cannot honestly see a guy like Phil Spencer saying, yeah, people don't want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't say behind the scenes stuff, but how they have talked to people through interviews and that type of things, I just can't see a guy like Phil Spencer saying that, say like, yeah, we don't need it, we don't want it. You know what I mean? And to be fair, like, you brought it up too. Chris Sever said in the same tweet that time last year that he said that Phil Spencer has a better head on his shoulders than Don Matrick.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, guys,
which seems true so far, by the way.
Very true. I mean, this guy has. I don't care if I'm being biased, but it's the truth. Compared to how Don Matrick screwed the company, to when Phil Spencer turned that company around in a year, you could see the attitude that the company has turned it over a year.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. It's just, let's just say, yeah. But it's something that's been going on for 13 years, and it's really ridiculous because of one company being owned by a conglomerate, which is ironically enough.
So here's some things that are strongly. I don't know what else can we talk about with what they're going to show.
Well, what we do know, honestly, I really don't know unless we get some more information about Scalebound from.
Forgot about that.
Oh yes,
Rise.
They'll show that. Yep. And
Scalebound
too. You forgot about that too.
Yeah, Scalebound.
Thank you.
Probably see first gameplay footage of that too.
Not only that, but it's the obvious obligatory Call of Duty opener.
Oh yeah, with Black Ops 3 or Blops 3.
Or maybe not, because there's been rumors going around that Sony may have, the exclusive DLC pack this time around.
No, that's a weird one. That actually is kind of a twist of fate there. Like, what? Wait a minute now, Sony. What? Xbox is about the shooters DLC. Now, Star Wars Battlefront is multiplat, right?
Yes.
I can see that being shown
on Xbox.
More on Microsoft.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. I can see that.
Yeah.
It's multiplat, but I can see them showing the game running on their hardware.
But other than that, I really don't know what else they're. No, I really don't know what else that we know that they're going to show. So
I know.
So I guess just they don't all have to be long, these videos, so I guess speculation time. The fun part. Yeah. We get to just make, a.k.a. what TV Tropes calls wild mass guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a rumor that I brought up before we recorded, that both of you guys, you're like, "Guh," and that's because I've just been scouring Reddit, just like...
Oh, like I do every day, huh?
I basically turned into Jeff.
Very much.
So I woke up this morning, I check it out, like, as soon as I wake up, it's like, oh, look, turn on the phone, check Reddit on my phone. And I found out that there's a rumor going around that Fallout 4 will be shown at E3, but behind closed doors. And the reason I bring that up on this is because although the Fallout, the Bethesda RPGs are multi-plat, if you're not thinking of PC, a lot of people tend to think Xbox with them. Especially Fallout. So, what do you guys think of that? Do you think that rumor is completely true, or do you think it's half true? Like maybe something will leak, or
probably half true. I can't see it being fully true or fully false.
I completely agree with you there. Half. I think like it might. I think probably not behind closed doors, but
actually
very small snippets. Maybe.
Actually, I do feel like they're going to do a behind the closed door conference, obviously, but for a longer gameplay section
than just 30 minutes.
20 to 30 minutes publicly at one of the big three, specifically Microsoft. I can see that happening more, to be honest. Like, either way, any could be true, was what I'm getting at, you know what I mean?
I feel like what you said is the most, like... Because I feel like we are going to get some public footage, but, like you said, there's going to be behind closed... Like, if there is going to be behind closed doors, it's just going to be longer than the public footage, but there's got to be some public footage.
And
then I also think Elder Scrolls 6 might be announced.
Yeah. And to be fair, if we have to have a Bethesda
Bethesda has their own conference, right?
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying, if they have to show off another third-party shooter, I would gladly take the first unveil worldwide, world premiere gameplay of Doom rather than Call of Duty, to be honest.
Yes.
That would be huge, and again, I would associate that with Xbox. So.
And before I said
that, game?
I don't hate COD. In fact, I'm a casual player of the series, and I'm actually looking forward to Black Ops 3. But the thing is, like I just said, I would rather take Doom as a world premiere, especially for the start, than say the usual showing of the annual COD. You know what I mean? But continue what you were saying, Jerry. Sorry about that.
Where was I? Oh, what's that other game? Starting with a D. That's a shooter that's owned by them. Well, not shooter specifically, but first person. Dishonored?
Oh, you mean Dishonored? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dishonored. It's more of a a first-person shooter / stealth game.
Yeah.
That might be shown. But I also feel like some of these with Bethesda are better suited for the third party.
Because
the third party video.
And what we know, it's supposed to be very long too.
I feel like some other first party games will be announced besides Halo. I feel like Xbox has got a better head on, like with Phil Spencer. This time they're not just gonna go Halo Day.
Oh, thank God, no! I agree
like
with you.
Like some first party.
Don't get me wrong, I like Halo, like the next Xbox fan, but I want to see more IPs, whether them, acquiring studios or building new studios or new IPs. That's what I want to see from Microsoft. And what we've seen so far with Phil in charge, that is looking like it's going to be a big thing for the company in the upcoming future. I mean, hell, last year he said he wants the Xbox portfolio to grow to be on the same level as Nintendo.
If
anybody has the moolah to do it.
It's Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah. Despite, even though they bleed money every year, but I do believe that they do have the moolah to actually do it.
Now, honestly, since we're going to go into speculation, I know we were just talking about it because it was still a controversial thing about Microsoft acquiring Rare all these years ago, but if they have to acquire another developer, whether it be a foreign developer from either Japan or China or overseas here, who would you like to see them acquire?
Microsoft acquire as a developer under their belt?
Like either a big AAA title or an indie developer. Which would you like to see?
You know, I want to see Sony acquire them, but somebody posted in a Reddit thread that Microsoft could get Kojima his own company.
Yeah.
Somebody said that, and I'm like, I don't see it happening. It's just an interesting thought, though.
It's interesting, yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's an interesting theory.
It's interesting, but I wouldn't be mad at either, but I would be better off if he was, like you said before we started recording, if he was just an indie developer and just made exclusive contracts with the big three if he went that route. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I know. Of course.
You know, if they got crap.
Yeah, I know.
It's
a really hard one, to be honest. I would say Sega,
because there's like certain factions within companies I want them to get, but not whole companies.
Yeah,
like I want them to get, say,
or like some certain
like
certain developers within Sega.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we know that the Dreamcast was like a precursor to the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And not that, but I also recall too, during the Xbox era, there was a lot of things we have found out now, like how much buddy the two, publishers really were. And at the time too, not only that, but there was going to be a time too that you could, at one point, they were thinking of actually having a component for you to play your Dreamcast games through the Xbox hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish that was still there.
I know.
Yeah.
Also, did Windows ME run on Dreamcasts?
Yes,
it did.
Yes. I would not mind, and honestly, I would be happier if, Microsoft acquired Sega than, say, someone like Capcom or even Konami, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. As long as Sega gets to make some multiplayer games still.
And here's the thing, too. I would be completely happy with it, because think about it. Virtua Fighter being exclusive to Microsoft, while Street Fighter is exclusive to Sony.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
that is...
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Jeff. I was going to say that, but yeah, definitely.
Or a completely different company, but I don't know if this publisher would be fine with it. How would you guys feel if Microsoft, since they had already a good relationship with this company in the past, how would you guys feel if they acquired Team Ninja?
Man, if Itagaki was there, he'd be all for it.
If Itagaki was there, he would definitely be all for it, but honestly, I don't
know how Yosuke,
I can't see it being realistic.
Of course.
Same thing with Kojima, but it's a fun thought.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, Ninja Gaiden and DOA were exclusive to Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
at one point they were exclusive, yeah.
I love you, Bill Gates. Touch my pizza face. Itagaki-san, if you're listening to this, because you're friends with Jeff, let's totally respect you. Let's be friends. I don't. Please don't take the joke serious.
No, you probably will.
Yeah. Well, what about someone like I don't know, maybe Treasure Studios or something?
Ooh.
That brought about their HD ports of Radiant Silvergun and Ikaruga and stuff on Xbox Live Arcade.
That's right. Yeah. I wouldn't mind that.
They need a Japanese presence.
Heroes.
See, thank you for bringing that up, Jake, because that's why I was bringing up developers such as, and I think all of us were, like, regards to, like, say, Sega, Team Ninja, and especially now with Treasure, because they need to. I feel like those three that we've talked about so far would, bring up the profile.
Because Japan doesn't even give them a second shot glance, because they're like, we don't play shooters. So.
Yeah.
Even though that's not all they have, that's how they see it. I mean, unfortunately.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is how it is with regards to Japan.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, I can't really think of anybody else that would actually make sense to fit under their profile.
Lord Brit. No, I'm kidding.
But in terms of
What's he doing? What's he doing these days? What's old Lord British Richard Garriott?
Oh yeah.
What's he doing these days?
Oh jeez,
Nothing,
I don't
right?
even know. Yeah.
Go to space, or as Tim Curry says, spice.
Do we really have to slice that in now? I think we have to. Thanks a lot, Jerry.
Spice.
Spice.
Spice. But continue with your
Tim Curry for Microsoft Vice President, right under Phil Spencer. Why not?
Oh God.
Hire him.
But for a Western studio, I don't know. Well, I know that Remedy is still second party. You know, and since more of their games have been out on Xbox and PC as of recent, why not just pick them up as a first party division?
Oh yeah.
But in terms of US, I really don't know. That's a crapshoot as well, because most of them are pretty much owned by either Activision or EA or Ubisoft.
Like, honestly, I know one, and I wish Microsoft would do this, just to get them off of the, get them off of Activision's tenons, and that is, High Moon Studios.
That is a good possibility. You know, if Activision were to let go some of their old subsidiaries and put them up for auction.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because boy, as much as I liked Deadpool when it came out 2 years ago, when I read that,
I know
that
how
really
much they
broke my heart.
They were actually forced to hold back and not do as good. They were told to make a C or D rated game. Like, what? What?
Yep, and that's what. And see, this is why I think Activision is worse from EA.
Exactly.
I mean,
EA at least wants to score high, even if they don't. They want to. They're not trying to make bad games.
No,
like, that's the thing. We've never heard EA from either leaked stuff from inside sources or even official, that we've never heard that kind of crass before from the publisher. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, I do see the exclusive deal with EA in regards to Microsoft. That makes more sense. In regards to exclusivity partnerships. Because honestly, when I always think of exclusive partnerships with Microsoft, I always see it's either Activision or more likely EA. And to be honest, I would rather have EA than Activision, because I don't know, there's like nothing with the publisher these days that really I have my eye keen on, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But as far as anything else, in terms of who Microsoft can pick up, I really can't even think of anybody else.
I just noticed we've actually gone normal length, so
yeah, I think
want to wrap up.
What we're getting at is this. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting year for Microsoft. Unlike the good start for the new, era for this publisher that we got last year, I think this is going to be... I think you guys would agree from what we barely know, I think this is going to be an even better starting off point for the publisher this year than was last year.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably going to have a better wild card this year than they did in 2014.
I want to add, with us not knowing, I'm a glass half full kind of guy, so it's actually pretty cool that we actually don't know this much. It's just more of a chance for us to be pleasantly surprised.
It's really refreshing, to be honest.
Especially the internet age. It's really hard to keep this under wraps. So props to Microsoft at least for keeping things under wraps this much.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. But I would say,
from me, who Jeff would say,
you don't hate them, but you don't like their stuff.
One last thing I want to say too, as a possibility, with their being a new Battletoads game in development by a third party, why not re-release Battletoads on the Sega Genesis, Battletoads and Double Dragon Ultimate Team from the Sega Genesis, as well as the arcade version of the Battletoads game that came out as Xbox Live Arcade games?
I would not mind that.
and it would make sense.
Celebrate, right?
And I can't really say for Battle Maniacs because that was Super Nintendo exclusive.
Oh yeah, that's right. And besides, Battle Maniacs was basically a condensed home release of the arcade version, right?
No.
Oh, it wasn't?
Nope. It was its own thing.
Huh.
It played like the first one, but it played like the first original game, but really condensed down with the level variation.
Oh, okay.
It's like we got half the glass of what the original gave us. Like there were 6 levels, and the original had 12 or 13.
Oh, okay.
But you couldn't even play as Zitz because he was captured.
Yep, that's right.
It was the first game you got to play as well, I wouldn't say first game, but if you wanted to just go by Battletoads logic, it was the first game you got to play as Pimple, the oldest of the Battletoads. So yeah, I'm saying if they want to do this right, with bringing a new Battletoads game, then re-release those 3 games as Xbox Live Arcade games.
No, that, but I'll also say this too, since they kind of technically did work with this publisher already. But with the recent DLC for Shovel Knight, I would love to see Yacht Club Games be the developer to revive Battletoads.
Okay. That'd be cool.
But I guess this is the point where we're gonna wrap up this episode for Microsoft. But I guess we said our
thoughts, yeah.
About thoughts, yeah. But
definitely our thought. like you said, it's pretty short.
Very short,
and we don't know
much.
Yeah, we don't. We don't know much.
We all agree that that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool. And I feel like that's.
And I always said this: it's always good to be left in the dark, so that way the element of surprise is much stronger.
Exactly. So we can all have our fanboy Kid Icarus uprising moment. Just won't let him live it down, will we?
You know that particular person is going to kill you off screen.
No, his wife. And thank you, because now I'm more scared. So.
But besides that,
beat me.
Besides that, future terror, right, Jerry? Plugs.
Who wants to go first? Me? You?
I'll go first.
Okay.
You can follow me on Double RPG Reviews on YouTube. I do 2 cents videos as well as reviews, and I will be putting out more content in the future. You can find me there. You can find me on Facebook and on Twitter. I'm under Double RPG Reviews on Twitter, but for Facebook, I have a Facebook page that's dedicated to me, so you could definitely take a look at that. I will try to update more often, but yeah, from those 3 sources, definitely check me out.
Jerry?
Alright, then you can check me out on Twitter. Twitter.com/ecariradio, IKARIRADIO. FighterXaos, like I call everywhere else, on DeviantArt, FIGHTERXAOS.deviantart.com. And my webcomic is on Tapastic, which is tapastic.com/series/mixtape. And I have another webcomic coming up called New Courage that is set to debut sometime this month.
Awesome.
And I'll put the link when I finally get it up.
Looking forward to that. As for me, I am doing a lot that hopefully should be up after this is posted for BrokenInfinite.com in regards to new articles.
I was just going to say, I keep forgetting BI.
Yep.
And I'm the vice president.
So when that eventually is available, you can check it out over at thebrokeninfinite.com. You can follow me on Twitter at 16bitchef. And you can follow us through this channel for updates in regards to the usual content we do, whether it's this podcast or feature Let's Plays. You can check it out at youtube.com/thegameriffers.
Uh-huh.
And we'll see you next week for episode 29, which will be on Sony PlayStation.
Yes, so Jerry's definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah,
so we'll definitely hear what all you predicted.
If if Jeff talked a lot in this one, you're gonna hear me talk a lot in the next one.
Yes, and you'll hear me talking a lot with Nintendo.
Oh yeah, and before we wrap up, if any of the listeners, you guys want to leave comments on what you want to speculate on what Microsoft will show, you're more than welcome to leave a comment below. But please keep it civil as always.
Oh, you can also tweet me or the Game Riffers Twitter. Or our Facebook page again with your speculations. You can comment there too.
And
check it all.
We will include that in the description.
Mm-hmm.
So until next week, I'm 16-Bit Jeff.
I'm Double RPG.
And I'm FighterXaos.
And we'll see you next time for another episode of the Riff Table Arcade.
Oh, that's a baseball!